was in a box.
We're sorry. You're off.
Tucker tells me picked you up on the street. That you were coming from a cemetery.
So you got a name?
Probably. Listen, ma'am, I saw a man.
How'd you get it? Are you okay?
You're safe here.
Oh, God, help us.
He's gonna kill me, ain't he? You're dead.
Nobody is gonna die here tonight.
He's not gonna stop ever.
Yeah, the man. Indeed. Anyway, first movie since Lightning Bug.
Yeah, it's been
that
too
you
long.
directed. Yeah, so Lightning Bug was semi-autobiographical. Did I say that word right? Semi-autobiographical?
Semi. I have a semi right
He
now.
has a semi. His pussy sitting next to him. That shit happens.
You're a powerful and attractive man, and you wear brute.
I do.
And how can I resist?
So anyway, laid
Yes.
to rest. There was a lot of you in Lightning Bug.
Yeah.
How much of you makes it into laid to rest?
About 9 inches. No,
9 inches.
kidding. A lot of me, like I said on the panel, and I'm really serious about it. Like I've spent my entire career making other people's films scary and making other people's films bloody. Figuring, sleepless nights to try to figure out cool effects for other people. Not to say that Laid to Rest is an effects-driven film, because ultimately, the people that have seen a lot of the footage from it say that it feels to them like a horror film set in the Lightning Bug universe. So
This is how we roll here.
So that's essentially what it is. Hey, look, number 1 on the call sheet.
Numero uno.
So that's essentially what it is. It's a true horror film, but in reality, it's about the story of a girl, this one, who wakes up in a casket, doesn't know where she is,
Typical Friday.
has no fucking idea what town she is, what her name is, can't form a complete sentence. So she's not like a traditional scream queen, and I made great pains to try to make her a really empathetic character through the whole movie. Really are on this flight to know who this girl is, and that's really what the movie is, wrapped up in a really disgusting slasher.
Now, for you, having to read this script, now, the one thing I've noticed about women in horror movies is you guys go through the fucking ringer. So now you're waking up in a casket, that's your first thing that you're doing. What makes you go, that's the movie I want to do?
Interesting question. Well, Rob and I are married, so we kind of came up with this crazy idea to do a movie together. And originally we were going to write it together, and very early on, about 2 sentences in, I went, you know what, you're way better off doing this than I am. I'm not good at this. He'd be like, what about this? I'd be like, what about this? And he'd be like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Lame idea. All of a sudden we were in Maryland shooting a film, and I was crying every day, or running every day, or screaming every day, and it became like this running joke. Like one day I didn't have to cry, scream, or run. I'm like, oh my god, today's so easy, and I don't have to cry, scream, or run. It's awesome.
So is this your way of getting back at your wife?
Absolutely.
Fuck with you?
Absolutely.
You said, okay, bitch, I got you with the
Clothes are on the
coffee,
floor again. Why don't you put them in the hamper? Oh, really? Mark that down.
Mental note.
Day 14, you're going through hell.
So how effects heavy is it? I mean, because that's really your forte. I mean, you've designed some of the most memorable creatures and zombies.
It is, I would say it's relatively effects heavy, unlike Lightning Bug. Lightning Bug had a few things in it, but it was all super, super grounded in reality. This is effects heavy. You know when the effects are coming. Look, it's a horror film, so pretty much everybody dies. That's no secret. But how they die is I think we really did tap into some really interesting deaths. I mean, one of my big things is I read probably 30 scripts a year, like for bad slasher films and bad horror films that people want me to work on just for the effects. And I get so fucking irritated when it's like, okay, another decapitation, someone's head gets lopped off, someone's eye gets poked out, give me a fucking break. So I sat down and said, what have I never seen before? And I literally, all the effects are there to serve the story. Make no mistake, this is not a tongue-in-cheek fun, over-the-top, Kill Bill style splatter film. It's not. However, when people die, they die good.
Now, are you going for the candy kind of tone? You going for straight? God bless you.
Zero.
No, yeah, if anything, you know, there's a lot of character development, and so you really care about these people, you know, and so some ways it almost lends itself to, at moments you're like, this is a drama, and then all of a sudden, you know, there's piles of blood everywhere, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's not a drama.
Yeah, I mean, my whole feeling was, no offense, because I would rather watch a campy horror film than watch, you know, fucking Sex and the City or whatever, you know, big movie is out there now. I mean, I would rather watch...
City, kind of a campy horror film.
I'd rather watch something like that, so I appreciate that stuff, but when it comes in terms of my sensibility, like, I always feel like no matter what genre of film it is, horror, comedy, whatever, if you don't believe the words that are coming out of people's mouths, you have no film. So I really did try to make a really, enriched character development horror film, where it's like you really like, oh wow, I love that person. So when they're in peril, you actually feel for them. This is not 5 kids in a cabin in the woods and they get dispatched. It's not that kind of film.
So now, were you concerned with like the rating while you were making, or you just said, fuck it, let me do
Zero,
it?
and I'm not concerned about the rating right now. I mean, it's totally disgusting. Like right now, well, because we haven't really discussed how exactly we're getting it out there and how wide we're getting it out there, so it's never been a concern to me yet. I may be boo-hooing, you know, in a couple of months.
Well, there's always the DVD.
Right now, if I had to have it rated, it would be an NC-17. No doubt about it. I mean, it's disgusting.
It's warm, right?
I know.
Now I have a sense.
Speaking of the semi.
I feel like crying a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it even right now. I mean, we're doing some additional photography in a couple of weeks. We're actually, I thought of a cool new scene for the first act of the movie where I'm adding 2 more characters, because our cast is really tiny. It's supposed to be like a little small town in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night. Like, the whole movie takes place in one night. But I weaved a couple more characters in, Jonathan Scheck and his real-life girlfriend, Janet Kramer, who's on Friday Night Lights. It was very pretty. I worked those 2 into the movie, and they're gonna die really fucking horribly. So the scene that we're shooting next in a couple of weeks for the reshoot is actually the most disgusting death scene.
And it's theirs. So how dirty do you get? I mean, whoa, that's an
Simmer down
interesting
now.
question.
Simmer down.
What time does this end?
To rest.
Yes.
What kind of movie is this?
I understand now.
After the movie wrapped, I slept for 24 hours. Partly because I was exhausted, and partly because we got wasted at our wrap party. There was 2 arrests at our wrap party, so legendary. And that's a good
our wrap party made TMZ.com the next day. Let's just put it that way. It really did. Look it up. Yeah.
So that, and then I wanted to go like in a field and be quiet for a week. It was weird. I called it. He went home right away, and I stayed back and I wrapped out the movie with our producing partners. And I kept going, I want to go sit in the field and look at a barn. And everyone's like, what is it with the barn? Like, I think I just needed my space needed to be quieted down. You know, like I needed to like have this like moment of clarity after this month long of insanity, because aside from the script and just going to those dark places, I wasn't really sleeping. I mean, we were working all night, and then I would go back to the office during the day and be a producer. Go to sleep at 1, wake up at 4 to get my makeup done. And I mean, we were kind of all working on this like 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep thing. And it caught up with us, but I think it helped with my performance at times. You know, kind of have this manic sort of look in my face. I'm like, you know, it was good. You know, it helped.
It's been several years since you've been in the director's chair, and now you have late residence in the Canvas next year.
That's a good question. Well, we're starting a production company called Dry County Entertainment, and we're going to try to do a slate of films. I'm not going to direct all of them, obviously, because we're going to try to do like at least 6 films a year. So I'm probably ultimately going to get Old Scratch going really soon, which is this backmasking opus that I've been working on for years and years and years. We have a couple of other films in development too that we're trying to do. So that's that, and I'm always open. But I think ultimately I like writing and generating my own stories, because it's like I never really wanted to be a director. It's like telling stories, so I think that's really the only way that I can do it.
Well, you keep making them. We'll
Thanks,
keep
dude.
watching them, brother.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Thanks, dude. Good to see you.